Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday. It is time for your market SITREP or situation report. And man, do we need one today. Look at the top of the Drudge Report. Biden beats Trump at stock market. Is Harris headed for a blowout? Geez, I wonder why Jerome Powell cut 50 points yesterday with everything going so well. We're going to dig into all this stuff, folks, so buckle up. Hey, before we get airborne, though, the next time I'm doing a live trade brief is Monday morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to debrief all of this stuff, what this insanely stupid or lie rate cut means for you, the market, and how we're going to print money off of it. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. Starting next Monday, I'm going to open up the doors for a full week to our live training and trading services. You do not want to miss what's going on, folks. We got war in the Middle East, war in Europe, most likely war coming in Asia. We have a Fed who's cutting rates because everything's so good. What? There is so much going on, folks. You do not want to be flying around this market solo. I guarantee you. So make sure you join up with your flight lead, me. Go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. And just for registering, folks, I'm going to throw you our 7-step trade plan and our OPCL, our options pocket checklist. Download these, print them out, read them before we get airborne on Monday so you're somewhat up to speed with the tactics that we employ here at Top Gun Options. Okay, let's start digging into it, folks. Absolutely insane. Okay? The Fed chairman yesterday really went out of his way to he was lost. Powell had trouble clearly explaining the reason for the large rate cut. The guy, we needed a drinking game yesterday. Whenever he said the word recalibration, he kept, I don't know how many times he said the word recalibrate. So that's the new one. Just like inflation was transitory, I guess the Fed is recalibrating, folks. Absolutely unbelievable. In the past, the Fed only cut 50 points at the start of a cutting cycle in case of a severe deterioration in the economy or markets. The dot-com bubble, the global financial crisis. Remember the last time we went big? The COVID scandemic, right? Unbelievable. Powell had a clear incentive to deliver 50 before the election day because Trump has already made clear that he would not reappoint him as Fed chair, first of all. So Powell's only chance of another term is by pleasing Kamala Harris and Pocahontas, folks. This is absolutely insane. If you're cutting 50 points when the economy is quote unquote strong, you're wasting ammo. You can't go like below zero, right? Thank God for Michelle Bowman. She was a dissenter. Hey man, I think we should only do 25. Kyle Bass is great. Out of the so-called smart money, he's one that I really respect. The Federal Reserve's large rate cut can be explained by only two scenarios. Jerome Powell and his cadre of elite economists see the U.S. economy falling off a cliff, or it's a couple weeks before early voting. And I go with the second one. The Wall Street Journal this morning had a great debrief. The Federal Reserve pivots, they use the word recalibrate, Wall Street Journal, to fight unemployment. Wait, I thought unemployment, everything was great. Jerome Powell says the economy is strong, but still cuts by 50 basis points. I'm telling you, folks, there's a lot of confusion right now. A lot of people looking at each other going, the question is whether to believe what Chairman Powell says or what he does. He said everything's great. Employment's great. Inflation's great. Everything's super fun, fantastic, happy time. And I'm cutting 50. What? I'm really confused. And the Wall Street Journal does a great job taking him to task. I actually think he's pouring, if everything is so great, which I think is an absolute lie, then he's pouring fuel on the fire by lowering rates. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And if he absolutely is lying and they're looking under the hood and things are pretty damn bad, well, then things are pretty damn bad. I think we're going to start exiting what I call bizarro market, folks, and we're going to get into real market where bad news is actually going to be bad news, right? Before this rate cut cycle started yesterday, we are in a bizarro market, which is defined as what? Good news is good news. Bad news is good news. And awful news is great news, right? The worse the news was before yesterday, the more it was going to force the Fed to act. Well, now they've acted, and look at this. We're already on to the next one. We haven't even digested the rate cut from yesterday. The body's still, warm, not even cold. And people are like, what are we going to get in November, December? We're already, the market's living all the way out into the future right now. I'm really, really concerned with them going this big. I thought they were, to be honest with you, I don't think they should have cut rates at all yesterday. Inflation isn't even anywhere near their target. And they keep reminding us like, well, we brought it down a lot, Whiz. You caused it. You can't be the arsonist and then show up as the volunteer firefighter demanding a medal. What are you, stupid? You all caused 9.1% inflation. And now you're patting yourself on the back for getting it down to just under 3? Your target is 2, man. Anyway, you have to trade the market you have, not the one you want. And we are seeing a rip your face off rally today. We're looking at, what's that? S&P's up over 2% right now. And I'm going to remind you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yesterday was a little nuts, but we're looking at just about an 8-day rally in the S&P 500. What happened the last time we saw an 8-day rally in the S&P 500? We hovered and slammed. Now, I think the market is still kind of digesting everything that happened. I think this is also today, this massive pop is also a little bit of a short squeeze. A lot of people look at the market yesterday. Let's take a look. Here's 2 o'clock. There's the announcement, right? Pop, massive pop. And then for the next, until the market closed and the press conference happened, look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, smash. And then I guess everybody overnight said, you know what, Whiz? Forget about it, man. Absolutely insane news. They cut 50, just get a lobotomy, and the market's going to go higher. You got it, man. Trade the market. Here's how good I got it, or TOPGUN Options member have got it. Look at this. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is our live trade brief from, when was this? September 4th. So 2 weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen, we did a bullish double vertical on the S&P 500, didn't we? Let me scroll down and show you this trade. On the S&P 500, the 5450, 5445 bull put spread, that's a credit spread. We took in money to fund this bull call spread. Look at that. It was a debit spread of $9.20. Now look at this trade. $9.20, $17.50. Doubled your money. I think based on the ratio of contracts, I do one contract in the briefs, and then I'll say, hey, if you're looking at a $100,000 model portfolio, these are the different, maybe I'll do 5 in the bull put spread and 10 down here. I remember playing with this one. So this would have, with the contracts that I had selected during the live trade brief, would have cost you about $4,500, and you'd be up $15,500 in 2 weeks on a single trade, ladies and gentlemen. This is the power of TOPGUN Options. This is the power of knowing what you're doing, trading options. This ain't hard at all. I've been talking about dogfighting this market for the past couple months, right? On these violent implosions, we have bearish double verticals on, and on these incredible pops, we have bullish double verticals on. Absolute insanity, folks. Let's look at performance real quick. Account performance year to date, 139 grandish, 129.5. Just trading the S&P 500. There's some Chipotle in there, some Qs, some Starbucks. And then how we looking month to date? Look at that, about 22 grand. What is it? September 19th, about 22 grand month to date. Some Chipotle, Qs, and Starbucks, about $18,000 month to date with S&P 500 profits. By the way, just in S&P 500 trading, I mean, hell, that bullish double vertical I showed you was essentially the month so far. You could have paid for a lifetime membership here at TOPGUN Options. Okay, so Trade the market you have, not the one you want. Next week, I'm going to teach you a bunch of what I call whizisms or Wall Street isms, but that's one of them. Even though I know this is bullshit, either the Fed's lying to us that everything's super fun, fantastic time, and things are really bad, or it's a political rate cut. Remember this headline from earlier in the week that we looked at? Americans are falling behind on their bills. Wall Street is alarmed. Oh, really? That's not what Jerome said yesterday. That's not what Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, certainly Joe Biden today on his speech the day after the Fed hooked him up big time in Kamala. According to this administration, everything is fantastic. And if it's not fantastic with you, you're an outlier. You're an outlier, Whiz. Get over yourself. Well, I just happen to have friends and talk to people and go out and shop and live, and ain't nobody that I know having super happy, fun, fantastic time. So, pretty damn sure the Fed's lying to us, but I don't care at the end of the day because I tell people at TOPGUN Options I'm bipolar, and so am I. What do I mean by that? I, as Whiz, will tell you how I feel. I think it's bullshit. They're lying to us. The BLS doesn't stand for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It stands for Biden Labor Statistics. So they've been blowing sunshine and lollipops up our skirt for a long time now. But I don't care. As Gordon Gekko from Wall Street, or Jordan Belfort from the Wolf of Wall Street, good. I don't care. They can keep lying to me. I'm making money off of it, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to do all of these things next week for free. I'm one of the only guys in the industry that does this. I don't give you 152 PowerPoint slides and say, hey, join my team. I show you what I'm doing live in the market. Nobody else does that, folks. They're going to give you a huge PowerPoint presentation with a bunch of old trades. Hey, look at all these profitable trades I did when? In the past. How about you throw some on live today for me and I evaluate your performance? That's what I do. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle and join me next week. Make sure you register even if you can't attend or you got to work next week. I'll get you access to the replays. We actually are limiting access going forward in these full throttle trainings. I think it's like 500 I'm only letting in the room. Usually we have a couple thousand people register. I'm done. I don't like a battle of Britain in the chat box and hundreds of people asking me questions. I want people who are serious about taking their trading and investing to the next level. Okay, so go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle, and I will talk to you all later. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged, which we are. Fights on. Namaste and basi basi. Whiz out.